All right, good day, Rogue 420 fans. It's Carlos, and today I am here with another Rogue 420 interview. Today I'm very excited about our guest. Our guest is Patrick Rea, who is the CEO and also the co-founder of Canopy Boulder. Patrick has lived the life of entrepreneurship, of helping entrepreneurs, everything in the startup phase. I love what his LinkedIn profile specifically says here. It says that I'm a doer and a helper. I've traveled the world advocating the business of change. The people I met with inspire me. As a result, if I don't have the answer, I almost always will know someone who will. And that is so true. So, Patrick, welcome to Rogue 420. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm great. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure. And as we were talking a little bit before we hit the record button, we were talking a little bit in regards to Canopy Boulder. And you're the CEO, the co-founder, dated back to September of 2014. You guys have experienced quite a bit of growth. You currently are active in almost over 100 investments with 80 different companies. So why don't you share for our listeners a little bit more about your background and Canopy Boulder?
Sure. My background is pretty varied. I started out in venture capital and investment banking in the natural, organic foods and dietary supplement industries. We also did a little bit of high-level strategic management consulting, usually around acquisitions there as well. Moved on to a portfolio company, that VC firm, which was a market research and data company. But we also had a publishing arm, which grew, and then a conference. So sort of a B2B media company in that natural products industry. That was sold and stayed on for a while, and then got moved to the corporate office to do some things at the central B2B media company, and ran trade shows and did e-commerce and data and still more consulting and stuff like that. So a lot of public speaking and working with companies. Left that back in 2013 and started to look at the cannabis industry. Decided that there was an opportunity to raise a fund and deploy capital on behalf of investors in the industry and the ancillary products and services sectors. We raised our first fund in 14 and deployed it in 15. Invested in 19 companies through an accelerator program. And since then, we've run 11 different cohorts. And now we're over 100 companies and about 130 investments. So we're very active investors, and we're focused on early and growth stage companies in the ancillary products and services sector, so your data, software, tech, media, and then also CBD and hemp. Mostly in brands, but we have made an investment in some global opportunities in CBD and hemp as well.
How exciting. And I really applaud your work in terms of, you were one of the early stage who really set the stage in terms of this industry. And what I mean by that is that, it takes a lot of courage to get this started and launched in terms of the regulatory things, the environment that we're in. But then also your approach to that is in which you want to find, entrepreneurs, kind of like you mentioned, early stage startups and help them through the process. And one of the things, Patrick, that really caught my eye was your accelerator program. And I think that for our listeners and for those who are inspiring to get into this industry, it's it's still growing, it's still very dynamic. Could you share a little bit for our listeners in regards to the accelerator program with Canopy Boulder?
Yeah, sure. So we model our accelerator program after TechStars, which is another accelerator founded in Boulder, Colorado, and they run programs all over the world now, focused on tech. And that is a structured and rigorous 13-week program. What is a program? Program means that we'll have a structured program and a customized program that lasts about 13 weeks. Companies apply and are accepted. We negotiate terms and make an investment into the company. We'll make a $120,000 investment into the company and invite them to our accelerator program in Boulder. They'll move out to Boulder for that 13-week period, and it's a full-time thing. Certainly, if you have a larger team, you can come to the accelerator program you and a co-founder, and have the team continuing to work. But we think there's a lot of value for almost any member of a team to be part of what essentially is a micro MBA on the business. The purpose of it is to accelerate the development of the business, accelerate traction, accelerate fundraising, accelerate the development of the team. And we are we run this 13-week program. Every week has a different theme, whether that's team building or marketing or sales or finance or venture capital or operations. Every week we have a structured program that is recommended reading, education, mentor sessions. We have hundreds of mentors, folks who are experts from inside and outside the industry that come and give 30-minute talks and do 30 minutes of Q&A on their area of expertise. We have assignments, and we do pitch practice, and we get feedback and give feedback every week. So it's a real intense process. Going through, starting out, it's a lot of work. I think it sort of sets a strong foundation and sets expectations for everybody in that sort of structured program. And it culminates after 13 weeks with an investor roadshow. So we'll go to different places and host different events to help the companies get in front of investors if they are wanting to go to raise capital. We'll also welcome and invite industry experts and luminaries and CEOs of different companies, because that company that we invite might be the customer for the companies that we've invested in. Now, that's a structured program. We also have a custom program because every team is different. And every team is at a different stage of development and has different needs. So a lot of our due diligence before we make the investment is to understand what the goals are of the company and if we can actually help, right? So if you said, hey, I want to really run my marketing through skywriting, that might make us scratch our head a little bit and really think, is that something we can help you with? I can't fly a plane, nor do I know much about skywriting. But, that might be the right thing for you to do. We just can't help out. So we want to make sure it's a match. We share the same vision and goals for the company. And, it's going to be a good long-term relationship.
Yeah, it sounds
those two programs are run at the same time and hopefully get us to a point together where it's a really appealing business and it's growing and investors want to invest in it.
It sounds like a really dynamic approach, a 360 approach to it. And I love the aspect that you discussed in regards to taking a customized approach to working with the potential business startup. I think that's just an important key because, as you mentioned, every team that's going to come in perhaps has a different skill set that you have to foster, that you have to work with. Now, in terms of the team that's there at Canopy Boulder to assist with that, is that mostly in-house, or are there industry experts that come in to help in terms of that program?
Yeah, we have mentors that are giving of their time. So these are hundreds of people. These are CEOs of large vertically integrated businesses, cultivation directors, retail managers, bud tenders. We have people at every brand managers and CEOs. We have all these contacts that want to help. They want to be part of something like Canopy Boulder and help the teams succeed and, see what's coming down the pipe, right? It's important for them to know what's going on and what's the cutting edge stuff. So they help. And then we have an internal staff of folks that are helping manage all the mentor sessions, the education sessions, and the work. After running an accelerator program 11 times, it becomes, you build systems and processes, and we have programs and resources, and, it makes it easier to deliver. And also, one of the things I didn't mention is that every week with every team, we have one-on-one time. And in that one-on-one time, we can really specifically focus on each company's customized programs and what they need. But we can also, just relate, hear back feedback on how things are going with the company and help make more introductions to people who can help them answer the questions they have or develop the relationships they need.
Excellent. Very good. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but it appears that we're quickly approaching a winter 2020 accelerator application deadline as well. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
So looks like
we
October
have
25th.
A deadline October 25th. We have hundreds of applications in. I'm actually staring at a very large inbox of unopened messages right now. So we're in the thick of it. Now's the time to apply. It's always better to apply earlier than later, and allows us more time to feel, or it allows us to feel like we have more time to investigate some of the companies and the startups that apply to us that might be an edge case, right? It might be a little a bit of a flyer, but there might be something there, and if we have more time, we can investigate, connect with our mentor network and our industry professional network, and see if there's maybe the problem that this team, the startup applying, is going to tackle is significant, painful, and something people would pay to have a solution to.
Sure. Patrick, let's say, for example, that there is someone listening to our podcast that is, maybe is an early stage, maybe they would qualify for the accelerator program, but they're on the fence about doing it. What advice would you give to them in terms of the commitment towards a 13-week program? Anything that you could offer them at this stage as they're currently considering applying for the accelerator program?
Yeah, I mean, I would encourage them to reach out to some of our alumni companies, entrepreneurs who've been through the program, to see what their experience was. I mean, there's nothing better than sort of showing up and asking people their experience when you're trying to assess something like an accelerator program. But it's critical for the business. I mean, this is a big commitment. We also make a big commitment on the other side, so that is important to us, that everybody's making a commitment. And, to make a commitment, you need to do your research. So look at our track record, the companies that have graduated from our programs. You can get a feel for the types of companies that we're interested in. And, connect to those CEOs that have been through the program and have a phone call. Ask them.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like also there is an accelerator Q&A webinar that's coming up, and I'll make sure to post the link to that. That's scheduled for October the 15th at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I think that could be very beneficial for people who are thinking about it to be part of that and tune into that Q&A.
Yep. And I think I also have a webinar coming up soon where I'll do the sort of how to pitch presentation, which is one of our sort of crowd favorites. Sort of demystifying the pitch and making sure that it's understandable. That's going to be, on the 15th. It's an application webinar. We're also going to talk about how to pitch.
Excellent. Very good. Shifting gears a little bit, Patrick, in terms of the industry, the growth where we currently are, a lot of interesting things are taking place currently in terms of banking, finance, regulation changes, those things. What do you currently have on your radar in terms of the industry, and what are your perspectives in terms of any changes upcoming with our industry?
It's really hard to predict the future in this industry. You just got to be kind of prepared to react. Every day it's a new day, and it's a never a dull moment. So I think this industry really favors people who understand that, and they aren't going to rigidly hold on to concepts that change.
Excellent.
Where the world changes around. The sectors that we're interested in, ancillary products and services, and then CBD and hemp. We like CBD and hemp brands. We made a couple of investments there, consumer products. We think that brands will be the future of CBD. We know that the sort of natural and organic foods, investment community and retail community and product community is waking up to CBD, and they are helping move the movement forward. And the laws are, getting changed and putting pressure on the FDA to come out with regs. And we think that those will, we're betting that those regulations will favor brands and products that are tested and safe and good for consumers. But we look for teams in that space who have done it before, that have experience going to retail or selling products, consumer products. With the tech, there's a lot out there. So, but there's always room for better. So we're looking for teams that are excellent at execution, that get things done where others struggle. And through our due diligence process, I think we do a good job of figuring that out. So, we're looking for multiple teams of multiple founders, hopefully with experience in the sectors in which they're launching their businesses and running their businesses, so they kind of know what to expect. And ideally, they've raised capital before, because we're interested in investing in businesses that are going to grow fast, where the founding team wants to grow those businesses fast, scale them, and not a business that's going to be a lifestyle business. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and very well said. Patrick, please share how our listeners can learn more about Canopy Boulder, about yourself, please.
Yeah, sure. If you want to learn more about Canopy Boulder, go to our website, canopyboulder.com, one word, and from the homepage you can actually click and go to the Apply Now page. It's go.canopyboulder.com/apply. And there's a video, there's all sorts of resources, links, a Q&A, read through the reasons why alumni choose Canopy Boulder, and that will start you down the process. There's also details about how we invest, and reminder that we don't invest in businesses that touch THC products, right? So if you're a cultivator of cannabis, THC, strong cannabis, a brand or a dispensary, or you need a state license. We're not able to invest in you. So we don't think those are bad businesses. It's just not our focus. And there are other investors out there investing in those types of businesses. Many more investors out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, and then also just for our listeners as well, Canopy Boulder does have very active social media profiles, so you can also follow them on Twitter at Canopy Boulder. Make sure to check that out. Their Facebook page is as well, and then also they have a LinkedIn profile. So, Patrick, thank you so much for a great interview. And any closing thoughts before we wrap up this session?
Now's the time to change your life and launch a business in the cannabis industry. It's just so clear that there are political, economic, consumer tailwinds around cannabis, marijuana, THC, CBD, and hemp. Despite federal legalities, the industry is growing. And is projected to grow to be a $45 billion total cannabinoid market in just a few years. That is an incredible opportunity for entrepreneurs who have experience, the grit, to be entrepreneurs in the space. And we don't see this type of generational wealth creation and business generation opportunity too many times in our lifetime. So I would encourage people to seriously consider launching and considering Canopy Boulder as an investor and a helpful accelerator.
Absolutely, and very well said. Patrick, thank you once again for a great interview for our Rogue 420 fans. Please, again, go to rogue420.net. Stay tuned for all of our articles in regards to the industry, whether it be hemp, cannabis, investment opportunities. And then also make sure to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. And more importantly, like and share our content. We can't get the message out without your help. And so we appreciate your support. And Patrick, thank you once again. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you.